There's been a guy buried inside of the bridge for 100 years.
You actually have like video evidence of a presence, of a being, of a
demon. What?
What? I just went out too, exact same time.
There's someone walking over here.
And we're in like this bedroom kind of by the hallway, and then we hear the front door open.
What?
And then we see her, and she opens the front door, she turns, and her eyes are closed.
Shut up.
Her eyes are closed, she turns like this, walks out the front door, slams it behind her.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Welcome back to the Corey and Aaron Show. We are here with our special guest, Elton, a.k.a. Uncle Elty, as a lot of you know.
A.k.a. the independent variable.
Okay.
Is that his nickname?
That's Lil Dicky. That's Lil Dicky. That's
Lil Dicky?
Yeah.
So what are you then?
LT, Lieutenant.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant
Uncle.
Lieutenant, guys, we're here with Lieutenant Uncle. Guys, we are back at a very popular place.
Familiar to us.
Yeah.
We haven't been here in probably 2 years.
I think so.
Two and a half. I think?
Two. It's been two at the most.
Two at the most?
Because we came back here numerous times after our first time.
True.
Mm-hmm.
We're back at Suicide Bridge, guys.
And we are literally, you can't really see it on the camera, but we're like, 30 yards from the bridge?
We're like 80 feet from the bridge right now.
Yeah.
And the infamous spot in which we spent a night or two at is directly that way for me.
Yeah.
So
like 100 feet from you right now?
Yeah.
Literally?
Yeah,
like
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can visibly see it.
So yes, we are here at Suicide Bridge, and like I said, it's like 30 yards behind us and stuff, and I can kind of feel. Well, I feel spooked because we're the only people out here right now.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because this is where. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say it's changed.
That's what I was gonna say.
A lot.
It's weird where we are.
Yeah.
This is where they were building.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, in the very, very first video we did here, this is where we had to hop the fence and brought the Ouija board, and where we heard like the bottle shatter.
Yep.
And then now it's like a park, and there's like houses, and
it's like they're kind of trying to make it,
trying to change the vibe, the tone.
They're trying to make it not what it is.
Exactly.
And guys, it's kind of scary, but I'm not even being sarcastic. They're about 15 feet that way. They built like 10 houses.
Yeah.
There's just 10 houses in this random little lot.
Yeah.
10 feet from us, and it's literally right next to the bridge.
Pretty odd.
Very weird
odd place to live.
Very
really
creepy.
Strange. I would not want to live here. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't want to. Anyways, guys, before we get into the actual podcast, be sure to follow us on Himalaya.
Oh.
You could win a $100 gift card.
We're still doing that?
Yeah, I think we're still doing that thing.
Still
right?
doing that.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy that you're losing 30.
This week only, Aaron is throwing down the full 100. Everyone comment down below. Thank you, Aaron, for the Visa gift card.
If you go follow us on Himalaya and comment on our most recent podcast, your Twitter handle, you can win a $100 gift card just for you guys. So don't forget that.
Boom, do that.
Boom, do that. Heck yeah.
Also, guys, make sure to support us on our Patreon that we just made.
Exactly.
We finally made a Patreon for the Corey and Aaron Show.
We did it, last week?
Yeah.
I think. We did it last week?
Yeah, 7 days ago.
7 days. Sounds like a horror movie.
That does sound like a horror movie.
That's The Ring.
That's The Ring?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's not talk about scary movies. Guys, we're uploading behind-the-scenes footage and just a bunch of videos and pictures and audio from a bunch of our investigations, and that's all on our Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you looking that way?
Because I want to know what that light is.
You're scaring me. What light?
Look at the main pillar behind you, and then what's that little tiny light at the basically the bottom of the pillar? It hasn't moved, but I don't understand what it is. You see it?
Oh, I see it.
The little tiny light that's like
a cell phone.
I think it's a reflection.
Of what?
On the bridge, look.
It's just on the pillar of the bridge, though. It's like one tiny little dab of light. But it's not a reflection of your lights because that light's angled that way and that light's angled this way. So I was just trying to figure out what that was the whole time.
Okay, so we got a ghost behind us, guys.
That is weird.
That's really.
I just can't.
It looks like there's a flashlight in the middle of the cement.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was a
bridge.
bug, but no, a bug would have flickered or flown or yeah.
Hey, speaking of stuff flickering, when we first got here, guys, the lights on the bridge were
right now, I
flickering.
just did it.
It's
Literally,
flickering
it's doing right now. I know.
As he was talking about
It's
it.
still going. It's weird. It sucks. Is we can't show it on camera, but it's actually
flickering right
flickering
now.
right now. It's weird because I'm looking that way since now it's done. I was looking that way the whole time too, and it wasn't.
It wasn't
until you
doing
said
that until
something.
I just said that.
Yeah, because I can see it. It's in my line of sight.
Okay, wait. Ready?
It just did it right now.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. Look, literally right now.
You are kidding
As soon as you said ready, literally on, you went ready, and now it just stops.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
If there is a spirit and it knows that we're here, please make the light flicker.
It did it. I'm not even kidding. It's doing it right now. I wish we could move this camera. I wish we could move this camera right now.
Okay, guys, like I was saying, when we first got here,
It stopped again. If you think people should support Corey and Aaron's Patreon, make the light flicker.
oh my god. Okay, all right.
You guys don't
all
realize
right,
what just
all right.
happened. For the
I don't-
second he said that, it flickered.
And now it's done.
Do
And
you
now
think it only flickered
I
once?
want to
that
move the
time.
camera. We got when we're done. We need to
We'd
show
try to
Yeah.
Snapchat.
show the Patreon people the light.
We'll try to Snapchat.
Because now it's not doing it. Now it's just fine
Yeah.
again.
You know what? When we're done with this podcast, we'll walk around for a little bit, and whatever footage we get, we'll post on the Patreon.
There you go.
Yeah.
It stopped flickering. It has not done anything.
Jesus Christ.
So what I was gonna say was when we first got here, I brought up something about spirits and saw that flickering, and then it stopped, and that's weird.
Now I just can't stop looking at it. And as soon as you said the word spirit, it did it again.
And it wasn't flickering for a good 20
It
minutes.
hasn't been flickering the whole time.
Okay, let's stop looking at the light. I don't know how to.
That's
Jesus Christ,
Okay.
dude.
And now that light's dimmed out.
Which one? Was it dimmed out earlier?
No, it was way brighter before.
See, bro, what did I tell you when we first got here? I said that lights scare me. I feel like that lights are one of the first things that spirits go
Most
to.
people are afraid of the dark. You're apparently afraid of the lights.
Well, I mean, when it's dark, I like lights, but then it's like the light is the only thing protecting you, so that's what makes it scary. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it a little freaky. But also, wait,
Huh.
yo, you should tell them about the fences up there, because that wasn't there.
Yeah, so I guess when we drove across it to get to over here to park,
Yeah.
and before it used to just be the old standard metal fence, and now they put up a 6-foot high chain link fence the entire length of the bridge, which was new. And then
Yeah.
I Googled when they installed it, and apparently they put it in 3-4 months after our first major video here. And then what happened was, so they've only had, I was reading about it, so they only had 25 known suicides here in the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 3 months after our first video came out, there were 6 of them within 2 months. So that's 25% of all the suicides in the last 10 years happened within 2 months. And they're all different variety of ages. It was 65, 38, 43, 22, 16-year-old, 37.
Bro.
It was
Jesus.
all completely over the spectrum. But it was,
Guys.
and that's why they put that up, because it was the highest spike they've ever seen in a decade. Out of nowhere, they
Bro.
don't understand why. They don't know why, and then so that was their temporary solution until they can put up a more permanent.
Jesus.
If you guys are ever thinking of harming yourself or anything like that, please call the number that we put up in the beginning of the video.
Yeah. Because that's no joke. That's.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're if you're afraid to call a number, sometimes it's kind of an intimidating number. You can just text friends.
Yeah.
Facts.
People are always going to support you.
Yep.
Always. If you
Yep.
if you generally go to someone, you're like, hey, I'm not feeling the greatest. They're going to aid you in whatever way they can.
100%. Because if any of
So-
our homies came to us and was like, bro, I'm really going through something right now.
Yeah, everyone's going to drop everything they're doing to help you.
Yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
human nature, and that always seems to be the biggest thing is people are afraid to
say
show
to ask.
weakness, to reach out.
Yeah.
And we're definitely at a day and age now where that shouldn't be an issue.
We're
Wow.
it's crazy because we're at a day and age where everything's so accessible, yet no one wants to use it sometimes. You know.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's change the mood.
Yeah.
To Elton. So you have been here probably the most out of all of us. Maybe
Corey
not
tied.
Corey. Maybe
Yeah,
Corey.
Corey and I are equal.
I think me and Elton came here
Tied. Okay.
Yeah, we're equal.
every time together. What was that? 4 times?
4 times. Yep.
Okay, I've been here once,
Mhm.
and
It's scary.
and it's terrifying. Especially the spot that we went to is beyond terrifying.
Yes.
But what are some like the biggest things that like stand out to you from like those videos that you guys did?
It's probably Sleepwalking night. I think it's still the weirdest. The weirdest one is Colby walking backwards.
Yeah.
That's still the most bizarre one because like you can sleepwalking's common, but then to like in order.
Man, why'd you have to bring up that, bro?
And then
We're sitting right here,
because
bro.
I know we already did a video where we like rewatched that and like talked about it, and like I thought the entire time like you guys came into it with like a plan to screw with me. I thought you guys like had like something orchestrated to like try and mess around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean, something like that, and then you guys had no idea that was happening, and then Colby somehow like perfectly walking backwards on like a ledge. It's probably one of the weirdest.
And his eyes were shut?
I presume so. I mean, he was facing away from camera, but like
Jesus.
yeah, that was the weirdest. That was the weirdest night here.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's...
Cause I know Heath is was Heath there? Heath wasn't in that one.
No.
Because Heath I know sleepwalks a lot. Like I've had issues with Heath sleepwalking like on normal trips, just like traveling.
Yeah.
Like he'll scare the living. Heath is like fully rushed, like charged at me before in like hotel rooms.
Sleeping?
What?
Yeah, you guys don't. I never told you about that.
No.
The scariest
No.
thing ever. We were Colby and Sam had their own hotel room, so Heath and I were in a hotel room together. And Heath has like the most aggressive sleepwalking I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it scared me. I thought he was messing with me. Like that's how pinpoint accurate he was. But his eyes were fully closed, so he's sleeping. He's obviously in bed, under the covers, wrapped up. I'm at the computer, like exporting or dumping footage from the day, and I have like one headphone and listening to music, and all I hear is the covers get ripped off the bed. He like swings his feet out and immediately stands like straight upright. Like sits straight upright, stands up. He's probably like 15, 20 feet away from me at the desk.
Yeah.
Rushes at me, like fucking charges at me, and then stops maybe this far away from me, and then eyes closed the entire time. I'm watching him come at me, eyes closed, and he just stands over me like this.
What?
And then maybe like 10 seconds, he just turns around and goes back to bed, right on top of the covers, like just goes on top of the bed, and just goes to sleep.
How long ago was this?
This is when we were in Dubai.
Was this was after Suicide Bridge?
Yeah. It was
Way
one of the
after, right?
weirdest things I've ever like. I literally thought he was messing. I was like, but his eyes were fully closed and like the accuracy is like it wasn't like he ran into me. Like he knew exactly. Like he stopped.
What?
He had no idea it happened, and like
Bro.
something like that happened later with Sam and Colby in the room because they thought I was lying. And then Sam and Colby were in the room together because he just like fell asleep while we were all hanging out.
Yeah.
And he did the same thing. He like started like convulsing.
Uh-huh.
And then like he was like we thought he was gonna like start fighting someone. It was the weirdest.
Wow.
It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
That's creepy.
So
Wow.
like that night was one thing, and then like he, you know what I mean?
It sounds like that night transferred to Heath.
Yeah, but he wasn't
And
there
now-
that night. Heath wasn't there the night. That was Amanda, you, me.
But he's been here before.
He was here in the very first time we came. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just so crazy that it happened like a year later.
Yeah.
That's
you
freaky.
know?
Yeah, I've never seen anyone
What?
sleepwalk in that style, that nature, like that. That extreme.
That sounds like something's taken over his body.
yeah, it was.
His eyes are closed and he knows where he's doing.
That's the weirdest part. Is like he came to me. It wasn't like he ran to like a random wall or the bathroom. It wasn't like I was talking. Like I was just like I had one headphone in. Like I was just like dumping footage, listening to music, and like that was the weirdest thing. Like he knew exactly where I was, and he just hovered over me, and I was just like, "What are you about to do?" Like, you know what I mean? I thought like maybe he was just gonna like in a sleep like.
and his eyes are closed.
Yeah, and he had no recollection of it at all, and no one believed me until literally it happened like 3 nights later with Sam and Colby in the room.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the weirdest thing.
Is he known for doing that in the past?
He
Or is it kind of recent?
Yeah, apparently, like,
Dude,
he knows he's
weird.
done it, like, here and there, but nothing to, like, that extreme nature.
That literally sounds like something
yeah.
like transferred or followed you or somebody, and it's messing with us.
Did I ever tell you about what happened in kind of off nature? What happened in New Zealand?
No.
Probably the
second New Zealand trip?
So I went to. So this is. I actually kind of forgot about this. This is one of the most bizarre things. We have video footage. I made a TFAL video. It's probably the most bizarre footage I've ever seen. Where like legitimately the only explanation was like possession. I should actually show you guys this. I don't think you guys ever knew about this at all because when we weren't talking.
This was when you brought like the 20 people.
Yeah,
to
it was
New
when I brought
Zealand?
the 20 people to New Zealand, right? So we were staying in this house, and I won't say her name, but basically, there was a girl in the house that was like talking in her sleep, and it was like kind of a weird talking, and then it started turning into like this like.
Did you hear that?
That was
Yeah.
No, before that.
No. Before that was right
I was
over
like,
there. Well, that's people at the houses right there.
but did you hear like a?
Yeah, something like right there in the,
Yeah, in the
bushes. Yeah.
because I heard the bus, but then before that.
All right, keep going with your story.
Yeah.
So this girl starts like talking in her sleep a little bit. And it's like kind of sensible, and then it starts turning into like growling, weird.
The girl?
Yeah, the girl, and she's still sleeping, and like we're all in the room with her, like we're all like seeing, like we're hearing it, we're seeing it, and we're all like, whatever. This is kind of like amusing. We'll let her keep doing. We're not gonna wake
She
her
thought
up.
it was funny at first.
And then she starts like going like deep into a register that like I couldn't even try, and like you know what I mean, like
yeah.
weird growling stuff. And we're like, okay, whatever. She starts like
Ooh, I got
shaking a little bit.
You got chills as I just
I
did?
just got chills, dude.
The same time? This is sorry, bro. That's
No,
chills. I'm a huge thing on getting chills because
Yeah.
I always feel like when I do get chills, that's like a spirit or something passing by or touching us.
Yeah.
Because it came out of nowhere. But that's terrifying that I just got it down my entire body, and then as I just think to myself, I got chills. Aaron says out loud, "I got chills."
Dude, my entire body. I'm
That's
not
almost
gonna
like
lie.
something just passed by as you're talking to us.
Then you're gonna hate the rest of the story
Okay.
because it gets worse.
Wait, she did more than just growling. Do you have this on video?
Yeah, we have night 2. This went on for 2 full nights. We have night 2 on video. Night 2 was literally I thought I looked for a camera. When it was happening, I asked everyone, "Where's the hidden camera?" I looked at every single person in that room. I was like, "Where's she hiding the camera? How is she filming this? Like, this isn't real." I was like, "There's no way this is real. This is just out of a movie, insane. Where's the camera?" Like, and no, everyone was like, "Dude, this is legit." And then we all started freaking out, and like no one wanted to like. So before I tell you how it ends, so basically she starts growling essentially in her sleep. We wake her up. She's like, "What's going on?" She didn't really understand what was happening. We're like, "You were like talking gibberish, like almost satanic," and she's like, "No." And we're like, "You were, but okay, go to sleep."
Uh-huh.
So probably like 3 in the morning, genuinely like 3 in the morning. Some of us are still awake, and we hear her get up and like walk down the stairs really heavily, like really like stomping her way down the stairs. And we're in like this bedroom kind of by the hallway, and then we hear the front door open.
What?
And then we see her, and she opens the front door. She turns, and her eyes are closed.
Shut up.
Her eyes are closed. She turns like this, walks out the front door, slams it behind her.
The girl?
The girl. Walked down the stairs, sleepwalking.
This was in New Zealand?
This was in New Zealand, and there's 20 witnesses or probably 8 witnesses for this night in particular. The next night, everyone saw it. Sleepwalks her way down the stairs perfectly, stomping her way, opens the front door. We all poke our heads out to be like, who the hell is leaving this house right now?
Yeah.
Middle of the night. Eyes closed, turns, looks at us, goes out, walks out, slams the door behind her. She goes outside. 20, 25 minutes pass. We're all just kind of like, what do we do? We're like, exactly. So we're like, do we look for her? Like, what do we
Was
do?
she like going off into the woods or something? Where was she going?
So we don't know. So we know none of us went after her.
What?
None of us. We let her go. We let her go.
No.
You didn't go after her?
No,
Why
we
did
didn't
you
go after
How
her.
long was she gone for?
Like 25 minutes.
And she came back?
She came back. So she comes back, and we hear the door again. Open, slams, sleepwalk again, all the way back up the stairs. Well, this time we're watching her. She's up the stairs, eyes fully closed.
Followed her.
All the way back up the stairs, back to her bed, lays down. That's it. We tell her the next morning, and then when we tell her this, she's like, "Where's my cross?" We were like, what do you mean, where's your cross? She was like, where's my necklace? We're like, what are you talking about? She's like, who took my necklace? And we're just like, what are you talking about? No one took your necklace. She's like, I've had a necklace on since I was 4 years old. I've never taken it off my entire life. Where's my necklace? And we're like, we don't know where your necklace is. And she's like, it's gone. The cross she's been wearing since she was 4 years old is gone. And the only time it could have ever disappeared was when she was sleepwalking for those 25 minutes outside.
Yeah.
We think she broke it off and...
Oh, my God.
But it was
buried
gone.
It or something?
We don't know. We don't know. We never found it. We never found it. We looked for it. It was raining. Like we never found...
This sounds like a movie.
Right. So then night 2 comes, right?
That wasn't night 2?
No, that was night 1. Night 2 rolls around. We're in the same house.
Okay.
We're going to be moving houses the next morning. Same house. And it starts happening again, like 11 p.m. Everyone's tired. She falls asleep first. Same thing. Starts talking to her to sleep.
Yeah.
Starts growling a little bit. She like stands up at one point, sleepwalking, gets back in bed, lays down, starts sleep talking again. We're like, all right. We try waking her up, like, hey, go to bed.
Is this a fan?
What?
This is a fan?
They were all people that like paid to come on the TFIL trips. Yeah, everyone knew about TFIL.
So
yeah.
This was a random person that came from the States with you.
She was from Australia. She flew into New Zealand. Almost everyone was only 2 people were actually from New Zealand. So she's in the house again later in the night, right?
Yeah.
We're all up again. It's probably like the same thing, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. We start hearing her stomp around. We're like, okay, we're all downstairs. We hear stomp, 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 stomp upstairs. She doesn't come down the stairs. We hear stomp, 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 and then it stops. And then we're like, okay. And I was like, I'm going to go upstairs and see what's happening here. And Jay is asleep on the couch in the same room. He's the only one else in the room. And something like this, there was like a table, like a bench kind of like dining table thing. And she is there's a corner of the room, table's this way. She's in the corner, sitting on the bench, head down, knees up, right in the corner, eyes closed, rocking back and forth. Rocking back and forth and making the weirdest, I have it all on video, making the weirdest noises I've ever heard. Like the crazy shit. I'm like, I don't know what's in her hands. Like, I don't know if she has like a knife in her hand. Like, I don't know what happened. And I wake up Jay and I'm like, Jay, get up. Like, Jay, like, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Was she in Jay's room?
No, so she was in the common area, like the kitchen, dining room, living room thing.
What?
And like Jay's asleep on the couch because he fell asleep watching movies. She fell asleep earlier and she's in there. And there's only 4, and I wake everyone up. And that's when I'm like, where's the camera? Like, this is hilarious. Like, she watches TFIL. She probably knows like we've done like a bunch of haunted stuff. Like, this is the most elaborate, committed. Like, her acting level's insane. And she's in the room and she's just doing this, making I don't even remember what the noises are, but they were terrifying.
Probably like animal noises, right? Something like that.
Yeah, like, and no one wanted to wake her up, and we're all like freaked out, and she doesn't have her cross, and like, and this is insane. And I literally remember grabbing a boomerang because I didn't want to get close enough where she could like grab me.
Yeah.
And I remember poking her with like a boomerang as hard as I could, and she wasn't waking up. And finally, I started poking her in the neck.
Yeah.
And she still was just like doing this the whole time, nothing. And finally, I poked her like in the face, and she goes, and then she wakes up. And all she says is, where am I?
What?
She literally just looks at us like bewildered. Like, where am I? What's going on? And we're like, are you kidding? And she's like, what time is it? Like, completely out of it, has no idea what's going on. And we're just like, you're joking.
Holy crap,
And everyone's
Elton.
thoroughly confused as to what's happening.
This happened in Australia? I mean, in New Zealand?
Yeah. And like we have it, literally we have it on video, and like we played it off like in the video. It seems like it's really funny, but genuinely, like, I was like, I don't know if she's like, because I remember when I heard the stomping and then it stopped, and I remember like Jay being asleep up there. That's why I went upstairs. I was like, she could have just killed Jay. Like, I don't know how that world. There's a kitchen. There's knives. Jay's asleep. She apparently ripped her cross off while
she left for 25 minutes.
The first night.
You guys should have followed her.
Gone in the rain.
You should have
like
took your camera.
No shoes on.
In the rain?
Yeah, it was raining.
It was
raining for like
no
our first,
shoes on?
Yeah, it was raining for our first
Elton.
2 days in New Zealand.
That's some possession type stuff, bro.
Hey, man, I'm not trying
That's a possession.
I'm not trying to die out in the rain. Everyone lived, so apparently I made the right decisions. But like that was like the most extreme tale of like
randomness.
That's beyond sleepwalking, dude. That's bizarre.
No,
like,
bro, that's something. Wait. Why is it that? Whoa. are you kind of realizing something right now, bro? Like, think about this. How many situations have you been in that involve people that you're with waking up in the middle of the night and sleepwalking and doing really weird and
3 different countries,
stuff?
too. New Zealand, UAE, and then here.
You know how spirits attach to people? What if there's a spirit attached to you and it keeps messing with the people that you're around?
My spirit just wants to mess with other people.
Yeah.
My spirit like won the mega prank war of spirits.
That spirit also hasn't gone to Hawaii.
714.
The only way to get rid of the spirit, guys, is to take me
To Hawaii.
That's the only way to get rid of
Yeah,
it.
you send me to Hawaii, my spirit's like, thank God. All right, peace out, Elton.
He leaves. The
My spirit just
sleepwalking
goes
stops.
surfing for like a couple months.
Oh
He's
my
chilling.
God, dude.
He can't get a flight back. It's too late.
Oh, that'll
Okay.
be funny.
Well, that's crazy. But I guess it's time for the commercial break.
Yeah, guys.
I think it's time for a commercial break. All right.
Hey kid, do you want to win a $100 Visa gift card?
Yeah! Do you want to be able to finally afford AirPods?
Yeah.
All you gotta do is download the Himalaya app and follow the Corey and Aaron Show.
Okay.
Leave a comment on our newest podcast and you could win.
I'm doing it right now, mister!
Hey, guys. What's up? Corey's here. I wanted to be on the commercial, too. Bye.
Please don't operate Corey and Aaron while using heavy machinery. Also, it may cause bleeding.
So, guys, we're here filming a podcast right now. And for some reason, the lights over there keep flickering every time that we mention a spirit. I don't know. It's not doing it right now. It was doing it earlier, but it stopped. Oh, Elton, Jesus!
Spirit and you're angry. If you're a spirit and you're angry, flick the light.
It only flickered while we were recording the podcast and a little bit before, but now it's done. It don't make no sense, bro.
Did it?
Look,
It literally just
Elton,
did it.
look. It won't. How can I get them to show?
Go closer. Go walk up there. Go walk up there and touch the light that's flickering.
Do you want to go up to the light that's flickering? All right.
All right, guys, welcome.
Oh, hey, Elton. Welcome
Welcome
back to the
back.
Elton and Aaron Show. I guess I'm cut out now. Go ahead, do the intro. We're back from the commercial break. What are we doing, Elton? Tell them what we're doing. Is this an ASMR now?
I've been whispering secret messages the entire time.
The whole commercial
every
break.
time you guys talk, I do this, like where I hide my mustache, hides my mouth.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
Dang it! All the
So
audio's
guys-
screwed.
Guys, every time that you hear somebody whisper, subscribe to TFIL, that was not a ghost. That was
That was
Elton.
actually
That was Elton.
That's all I've been saying the entire time.
Oh, dude. Damn it, Elton. Well, Aaron, what are we getting back into?
I'm just kidding. I haven't been doing that the entire time. I only did it during the commercial break thing.
Oh,
I wouldn't actually screw up your entire
Like,
thing.
I was just talking to myself.
All right, carry on. I'll shut the up now.
So what we're gonna talk about right now is some history of the bridge and some of the famous ghosts of the bridge.
Yeah.
Infamous ghost.
The infamous ghost of Suicide Bridge, the one that people see the most and they say haunts it the most. Her name is Myrtle Ward. She's a 22-year-old, or was a 22-year-old mother. Who was like living in the 1930s.
Yeah, I know this story.
I think you guys probably have heard it in the other videos. I'm sure you guys have talked about it. But she apparently threw her baby off of the bridge.
And landed in a
and
tree.
then jumped off the bridge herself.
Yeah.
But the baby landed in a tree and like made it to the ground with just scratches, and so the baby was fine.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, which is insane because
Because
like
that's a 100-foot drop, probably.
That's
what do you
insane.
think right over there?
Even the tree from the bridge is still like a 30, 40-foot drop.
Doesn't make
See,
sense.
It's crazy how that worked. But basically, what they're saying is that they think that she haunts the bridge because of the fact that she's haunting it for her baby, in search of her baby. So if you ever
Looking
see
for
her,
her
she's
baby.
looking for her baby. So
There was something that we heard about people bringing their kids to this bridge. It was after that story. Was it not? Was there not another mother that had kids that jumped over it with a baby, or was that the only one?
I think that
That's
was
the only one
I
I know
swear
about.
I remember hearing there was something about like a mother and kids here. I swear there was more than one. I could be wrong though.
Maybe, but I don't know.
True. I could be wrong about that.
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
But yeah, so what, that was in the 30s?
Yeah, that was in the 30s. However, there also was a construction worker when they were first working on the bridge. Apparently, he fell into not instant dry cement, but like quick drying cement, and he basically is merged into the bridge.
Oh yeah.
Which is like crazy because that means like You literally have a dead man infused into this bridge.
He's still in the bridge right now.
He's still in the bridge right now. I don't think they got rid of it. I don't think they were able to take him out because it was in cement. And
Wait.
It's pretty common, honestly.
Wait. So they're saying he fell in it.
He fell into the
And
cement.
then the cement. So did they just assume, or did they watch him fall in it?
They saw him fall, yeah.
Why wouldn't they dig him out? They just left the body in there?
Well, think about it. If you have a 50 square foot thing of cement and someone falls in from up high,
oh my god!
by the time you get to him, and then to get through all the cement, and it caves in around you, and cement is heavy. You know, it forms around you. And then
what year was this?
This was during the construction, so 1915, 1920.
Oh.
I'm gonna presume.
Oh, dude, that's horrible. That was 100 years ago. There's been a guy buried inside of the bridge for 100 years.
It's pretty common, in older construction methods. People would die all the time, building skyscrapers.
It was
I know about
it's
that.
really common, and cement is no different.
It was a super, and also there's not really any way to contact people right there to, even if people did watch, if they were go get an EMT or something out of there,
It's just weird that his spirit is
trapped
over there.
Yeah.
And stuck in the bridge, which is probably they say at least in the legend that they think that that he lures people here because of stuff like that, because it was accidental. And so that's what I'm thinking, that's, if I remember reading it right, don't completely quote me on this, but they say that he lures people to this bridge and just kind of tries to convince them to jump off.
What was the bridge where dogs were jumping off? Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
There was a haunted bridge that dozens, maybe even up to 100 dogs jumped off the bridge, and they all, died. There's literally a bridge where it says that you have to have your dog on leashes before you walk onto it because dogs jump over it.
I've heard of something like that happening a while ago, but I don't remember exactly. I just think I remember seeing something like that.
How
on the
weird
news.
is that? It was on the news?
I think Twitter. But
Dude, I remember seeing that a
something like
long time ago.
No, yeah.
I did more research on it, and it was real. Dozens of dogs, bro.
We'll
Jump off.
I'll have to actually look into that.
There was some kind of a dog whistle. It was
Making them run towards it.
Yeah, some kind of weird. It always makes me feel it's something out of Butterfly Effect, where it's just some really demonically messed up kid who just has a dog whistle and who's just
oh, yeah, that's messed up. What?
Jesus.
What?
What?
I just went out too, exact same time.
Is there someone walking over here?
I thought so. I thought I heard someone walking right there. I don't know.
All right.
I didn't hear anyone. I can't see anyone.
Okay.
Um.
All right, 1 second.
Okay. Well, we're a little bit spooked.
Okay.
So why didn't you guys want to go over there?
To be honest, we actually did talk about that. For one, we were very scared coming back to Suicide Bridge. So finding this spot makes us a lot more comfortable, because last time, we were down there, it's just, I don't like that area really that much anymore. And we talked about, if we actually would go back to that spot, we think that we would want to, come very, prepared, with a lot of people. And then on top of that, with, some spirit boxes, some EVP equipment, stuff like that. Try to see if we can actually talk to a spirit or spirits that are over there,
Yeah.
Not just go down there tonight and something take over us,
It's weird to me that you find safety in numbers when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I think it's the opposite. Because I think
Really?
it's the more people you bring, the more options you give for...
What?
I heard something over there. It might just be in my head. Okay.
All right, keep going.
I just feel like it's more options. Say you do have someone who's more susceptible to possession or spiritual control or whatever it might be. The more people you bring, the more open-ended you leave it. You know what I mean?
That does make sense.
I think of it like White Walkers, right?
Yeah.
Give the White Walkers 10 people to take over. If you give them one, then you only get one more White Walker. You give them 10, you could get 10 White Walkers.
Facts.
However, possession's already uncommon, So I feel like having 10 people here would probably be like the chances of all 10 people being possessed at once is like, it's got to be like.
But he's
Well, I'm
saying it
just saying
gives
you're
it more of a
increasing the
chance
odds,
for
'cause
someone to actually get
you're
possessed.
increasing the amount of people that, like, so say it's like 1 in 10 people it
Yeah,
happens
no,
to, and
yeah.
you only come with 3, then technically
It can't.
the
yeah,
odds
there's
aren't in your
odds
favor.
of-
But you bring
yeah.
in 10, you've kind of essentially guaranteed it.
Yeah.
True.
Well, so what do you? What's your personal opinion on spirits and demons and all that? Because I showed you that video that no one else has seen of
Oh, that hasn't
the
made
demon
yeah.
at Nona's Pizzeria, where we just went in Utah. What do you think about demons and
it. So, you know,
spirits?
I'm the biggest skeptic, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily like go around and convinced that they exist. But when I see something that like gives me a sense of belief,
Yeah.
or then I'll view it as credible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always one thing like when you hear like a story, right? Like me telling you about like that girl. But it's another thing when there's actually like video evidence or when you witness it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Yeah.
what you showed me is very confusing to me
Yeah.
because there's no alternate explanation to what you showed me. Like I analyzed it as much as I could, and I was like looking for mirrors, I was looking for like a shadow or another source of light. I
Mhm.
couldn't find anything scientifically or naturally that would cause, what do you want to call that, shape? I don't know,
That
figure.
the body,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the thing walking towards me.
Yeah.
It was,
It's one of the most compelling pieces of
That's
demon-based videography I've ever seen.
mm-hmm.
Like you actually like have like a visual representation of something. It's not like I heard a thing, I look, it's not there,
Mhm.
or something moved and like it's not. You actually have like video evidence of a presence, of a being, of a.
of a demon. They
Hmm.
say a demon lives down there. And it was like 3:51 when I like caught it on my video. And what's really scary is I keep saying this, but the night before, we heard like a pig squeal in that room at that like same time. And it's really scary because the night before I heard that pig squeal and I was like, "Oh, that was probably the demon." And then I'm in the basement by myself in that room for 10 seconds at that exact same time, and I caught a demon on camera. And you, out of anyone that I would show, would debunk the hell out of that clip.
Yeah.
You would do everything you can to say it's fake. But that
Which I did,
but
but I couldn't find anything.
yeah, it's not fake.
I couldn't find anything. I mean, I looked at it. You showed me the screen grab.
I showed you it on my SD card
Yeah.
without it in the computer.
Yeah.
There's no way I could
yeah.
edit that, put it back in the camera.
Yeah, it was live in the camera. Yeah, there was no practical, like there was nothing there. There was nothing there that you could have like created that like you naturally captured whatever the that was.
What do you think I should do? Should I release it or should I keep it hidden?
What's the point of keeping it hidden?
I've had someone's walking over here with a flashlight. I've had
They're just on a walk.
I've had people tell me here wait, they're shining that. Okay. They're looking at us.
Just a headlamp, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to keep podcasting though. There's someone walking around here with a flashlight.
That's really strange. They're pointing it at us
yeah,
now?
they're just stopped pointing it at us. What were we talking about?
Why you don't want to release it?
Wait.
That's-
Should we check up on them? They're literally just stopped by right there staring at us.
Keep going.
I mean, we're not doing anything wrong. We're just sitting here, so
Yeah.
we're not like doing anything crazy. But yeah, so keep going.
Why don't you want to release it?
I've heard people say that like demons and stuff like that can attach to, like
So what-
videos. And
what do you mean they can attach? They can attach to the video. That's literally
I've heard people
that's the
dude,
premise of the ring.
I've seen fans comment for, a year now, maybe over a year, on all of our videos. And I'll see them say, ever since I watched your video, I'll be waking up at 3 a.m. or I'm now hearing noises in my house. And, like, I kind of believe that it's possible that if we're getting a demon or something on camera and then somebody is watching that, even though it's in a different location, it somehow can get to that device and go to you.
I feel like that's more like a psychological awareness, right?
Mhm.
Like if I were to tell you something like, for every 6 cars on the road, one of them's red.
Yeah.
Bet you never would have noticed that.
Okay.
But if I pointed that out to you, you'd
start
probably be
noticing.
hyper aware that every 1 in every 6 cars is red.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when people watch these videos, and maybe it's like a topic or a sense of knowledge that they're not typically aware of, then they start watching these videos and they start being more aware that, oh, weird things do happen at 3. Maybe like I didn't know that 3 a.m. was like the devil's hour, the witching. I didn't know that was a time. I never would have noticed like 2:55, 3:05, like things kept happening. I never would have put that together. But when you bring awareness to it, that's probably what's happening.
Yes.
So I wouldn't necessarily blame yourself for like bringing spiritual beings into people's lives, but I think you're just opening up
Their eyes
and like their sense of keen awareness to it.
So that stuff there could have been footsteps happening in their house for years. There could have been these noises, but they just didn't look at it.
Brushed it off like it was just a mouse or a rat. And now that they're like seeing other people who are encountering it, they're probably going, oh, maybe that rat the entire time has been a spirit. Like I think that's all it is you're just making people be more aware, especially because like there are younger people that are watching it that probably aren't putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
And then they're going, oh, that's an option. I didn't realize that was an option. I didn't realize unnatural presences were a possibility.
Because a lot of people aren't raised. A lot of parents don't tell their kids that stuff like that's real.
Yeah.
Almost a lot of parents don't even believe that stuff's real, bro.
Do you guys know where I used to live for almost all of high school?
No, where?
Do you guys know? You guys don't know. Oh, so you guys never knew this at all.
No.
Maybe it might have been purposely that I never told you this, because then you probably never would have done any haunted stuff with me if I would have told you this.
Why?
No.
So for 4 years of my life, I lived in the old crematorium. So
a what?
Crematorium.
Like that where
So-
people get burned?
Like a cremation?
So my property, I basically lived inside of a cemetery. So
Elton.
yeah. So this is real. I lived inside of a cemetery, and the only part of my property line that wasn't surrounded by the cemetery was our driveway. So basically, driveway's like, because the camera's here, driveway's like this, but then other than that, my whole property line was surrounded by a cemetery, and the house I lived in used to be the crematorium, and the basement is where they did it. That's where the ovens, I guess there are. The ovens, like, I don't know what they're called.
Yikes.
That's where that used to be.
Yeah.
And like all of my high school life, I lived there. And then for some reason, when I lived there, I started getting into death metal. I ended up playing in a death metal band for 3 years. I'd never liked the music. I never cared about it. I liked more of like kind of like the specials, kind of Sum 41, more like Southern California, like punk kind of scene.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
all
like
of a
punk
sudden,
rock.
I was like super into like Cannibal Corpse and Mayhem and all like Obituary and all these like super grim death metal bands. And then my mom kind of like told me, she was like, hey, by the way, the houses we live in used to be like, and I didn't even know that. And my mom used to like swear on her life that she would see this little girl walking around our yard.
Come on.
And the weirdest thing was, so it would snow a lot. I lived in Connecticut, and,
Yeah.
and the trampoline would get fully sheeted
Yeah.
in snow, and I never went on it.
Oh, I know what you're
Don't
gonna
say it.
My
Don't
mom
say it.
saw footsteps on the trampoline, like the kid was like jumping on it. She used to see the kid, and like one day there were like little tiny footsteps, not like a deer, not like a fox, like not my
Shoes.
dog, like little tiny, no shoes,
Feet?
footprints, yeah, footprints
In the snow?
in the snow, but no trail in, just in the middle. It wasn't me. Like, I can't, even if it was me, I'm not going to, like, jump all the way to the center of a 14-foot trampoline and jump back off.
Elton.
And the snow would have displaced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it. The snow would have
Yeah,
displaced.
if you would have bounced, yeah.
Did you go through anything paranormal living there?
I never believed it. I always thought my mom was just making up. I never believed
so
in
your
it.
mom was going through stuff.
I never thought any of it was real. I was just like, I live in a cemetery. It's a cemetery. What do I care?
But I want to know, because we've never actually talked about it. We talked about, like we've mentioned, like, oh, yeah, Corey has played with the Ouija board a lot whenever he was a kid, and he's had, like, a lot of stuff happen to him that, like, he can't explain. But I feel like we haven't heard any actual stories of what's happened to you.
Bro.
Like, just
This
few
could
of
be
them.
a whole podcast.
Yeah.
I have over, 20 Ouija board stories.
Well, then
back
what's
at my
one-
old house.
One good one that you would share.
I might want to save a really good one for a different podcast, bro. You don't understand how effed up these stories are. Like this is some. Okay, you know what? I'll give you one. Let
Just
me
like
throw
a little taste.
Let me throw one out there. Okay, so I'm probably 16 at this time, and I have my dance crew from Atlanta. They were down staying at my house. And, there's about 3 of them, and we were all sleeping in my room, and some of them would sleep in the extra room that we had.
Uh-huh.
And so I think that he was sleeping in my room, and then the other guys were in the extra bedroom. And my homie tells me the next day that he woke up in the middle of the night. And remind you, my friend at this time was probably, 26, 27. So he's not, some little high school kid waking up, to BS me. He's not trying to mess with me. Like, he's being honest, and he's very, Christian into God, so he doesn't play with this stuff. But he said that he woke up in the middle of the night, and there was an old man standing in my corner right next to my closet, and the old man was just staring at him. And he said that he literally just looked at the old man and was just like, okay, all right. And then he would put the covers over his head. He like said a prayer. He closes his eyes, goes back to bed. A couple minutes goes by, takes the covers off because he's like, it was either a dream, or I'm just, seeing stuff. And the old man was still there. And so he said that he stood up and walked out of the room and went and slept in the den.
Why didn't he just turn the light on?
I don't know, bro. He ran out of the room.
I would have just turned the light on.
And then been like, hey, old man, now show yourself in the light.
What if it's an actual old dude? Like, just somehow
no, bro,
wandered into
it's
your house?
No, bro. There's been you don't understand how many people have. I've never seen this old man, but I've had multiple people tell me that they've seen this old man, including the person that lives in my house now. One of our students, his boyfriend, lives in that house, and he doesn't even know that it's haunted or we used to live there. But our student does.
Jesus
and
Christ.
her boyfriend, sleeps in my room, and he was telling her how he sees an old man standing next to her closet. And this is the house that I moved out of probably, 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
And he's telling her that he sees an old man standing next to my old closet, and he has no idea that I used to live there. She does, because she's been to our house back, because back, they own a dance studio, so years ago they would throw, house events.
Yeah, exactly.
She goes to his house one day, and he's like, oh, yeah, this house is haunted. She's like, oh,
Okay, well, I think that's good for the Ouija board stories. We will have to turn like a whole podcast into just Ouija board stories.
You know what? You want one more? You want one more story?
I mean, that wasn't even a Ouija board story. So
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was caused by a Ouija board. That's why that old man was there.
That's why his house was haunted.
That's why I'm bringing that up. Literally, guys, we built my house, and my house was completely fine up until the Ouija board. Like, we played with it with my entire family. Like, I don't think we really knew what we were getting ourselves into. But let me tell you a quick little Ouija board story. Me and my homie are playing the Ouija board. He does not believe in God. He doesn't believe in the devil, none of that stuff. This is back in high school as well. We're playing with it. Long story short, the Ouija board kept saying Zozo. And then I put it up.
Dude.
If you don't know what Zozo is, it's like the
No.
like the number one like spirit or demon that's like in like Ouija boards. And like it literally kept saying Zozo. Like it's just going crazy. Like I don't know if it was I'm hoping it was a spirit like acting like Zozo.
Just pretending to be
Because,
Zozo.
nothing's really happened to me since then, and I've seen a lot of stuff about that demon, and I don't want nothing to do with that demon. But I wasn't touching the Ouija board when I was saying Zozo, because I took my hands off it because he asked it. He's like, is the devil here? And it started to spell out, like, Beazel or something like that, like Beelzebub or Beelzebub. Like, that's like another name for the devil.
Yeah.
And he starts calling him Beelzebub, and he's laughing. And I'm like, what are you laughing at? And he's like, oh, it spelled out the devil's name. And then he was like, what's your name? What's your name? And then it started spelling Zozo. And I said, end it now, say goodbye. I made him say goodbye. He had no idea what Zozo was. Put the box up, slept in another room. That was that.
Ooh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I remember the first time you told me those stories, and like I didn't know you very well. And I was just like, oh, you're just whatever.
BSing.
You're just like exaggerating, and I thought you were just like trying to like find a reason to not do like the Ouija board stuff.
Yeah.
he's a dog. Man is a dog.
And for anyone that thinks Corey might be exaggerating or lying or doesn't genuinely have a fear of this stuff, there were many a times that I had to thoroughly convince you to come do this stuff because you're like off camera, like literally conversations like in our house We were like, I don't want to do it. Like, literally, like, you would just look at me like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, we're not filming. You're like, I know. I don't want to do it. And I was like, why? Like, 'cause of all the stuff that happened. Like, you have a genuine
like past
hatred and fear and belief in this realm of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is the polar opposite of me.
You want nothing to do with it?
Yeah, to me, I'm more so like, I don't believe it until I've given proof. And you've already been given the proof.
Dude, I went through the proof at a young... Bro, you don't understand.
Yeah.
I saw a little boy standing in my living room, bro. I was home alone. Home alone, dude. My whole family's at the dance studio. It was like 2 p.m. I was getting ready for someone to come pick me up for dance class. I'm in my parents' bathroom, and I'm literally doing my hair. And this is when I was getting used to, spirits. I was like 14 at this time, and I was like, this is so cool. Like, the spirits are they're kind of communicating with me, because I literally would say stuff, and stuff would happen in my house, bro. Like, I would be like, communicate, make this noise, and stuff was going down. So I'm doing my hair one day, and I see a little boy standing in my living room, and I think to myself, oh my God, like, I finally did it. I'm finally looking at a ghost. And I didn't look away for 8 seconds, 10 seconds. I just kept staring at him, because I knew as soon as I look away, that little boy is not going to be in that living room, and I couldn't see his face completely. It was just an all black shadow. It was all black, but he was just standing in my living room, and I'm looking at him through the mirror, because the mirror is, reflecting, and I can see through my parents' door. And as soon as I turn my head, he's gone. And then, a week goes by. I tell my mom about it. My mom's like, oh, that's cool. Because my mom's into ghosts and stuff like that, too, My mom grew up next to a cemetery, so she was always into that stuff. And I swear to God, it was only me and my mom that was home when this happened. And I was in there doing my hair again. And my mom yells for me to come in the kitchen. So I go to the kitchen. And as soon as I walk out there, we hear something just smack so hard, and I thought it was the blow dryer, because I was doing my hair, and I was like, damn, the blow dryer just fell off the counter. It's probably broken. I go in there. It was the chair that I was sitting on, and it was upside down on the other side of the bathroom, like something threw it across the bathroom. And that's when I realized, and I was like, oh, maybe that little boy that I saw wasn't so much of a good spirit.
Okay, so I want you to remember everything you just told me, and then think about the clip you told me about that you got in Utah. What did you hear, and then what did you see?
Shh. I don't want to talk about this, bro. Don't put stuff together like that.
What did you hear, and what did you see?
I don't like that.
What did you hear, and what did you see?
What did I hear in Utah?
Mm-hmm.
I heard a pig.
No, what did you hear right before that clip? You heard something.
Oh, I heard something fly across the room, like a box kick or something.
And then you caught something on tape.
And then you caught something, and now next time, look at the figure and tell me it doesn't look like a little boy.
That's going to be hard. We've looked at that figure a lot. That doesn't look like a little boy.
I don't know if okay, Aaron, actually.
No, it looks like a 14-year-old boy.
That's as tall as the roof?
Well, what? No. What I showed you, we saw. Wasn't it you? We saw another pair of legs.
Yeah, there was two.
There's two.
There was probably an old man and then a little boy.
There's two.
That's what I'm talking about. The one to the right.
Old man. Who's an old man in your house, dude?
That's what I just said. Think about everything you just said and put it together.
Do you know?
Oh, okay.
Do you know that whenever we were down there in the basement room, it said Corey twice on the spirit box?
You told me, yeah.
And then everyone is like, oh my God, Corey, it likes you. And I go, did you just say my name? And then the device starts going crazy, and it starts squeezing the antenna saying yes, and it said my name. And right before that, it said kill him.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was that was like 30 minutes after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before that, did it say, ooh?
What'd you say?
Ooh, kill him.
Ooh, kill him.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But, yeah.
Yeah, we should probably wrap this up. Elton, thank you for coming out and sitting next to a bridge with us.
No problem.
Guys, go subscribe to Elton. Go subscribe and follow all his channels.
We're going to have links down in the description below.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget about following us on Himalaya. You can win a $100 gift card.
All that you got to do is follow us and then comment on our newest podcast on Himalaya, and then we're picking someone.
Yeah, comment your Twitter handle so that we can
and then we'll
reach out to
DM
you
you
on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yep.
Awesome. Other than Himalaya, you guys can go check us out on Patreon if you want to see any of the extra stuff. We're probably going to go walk around a bit and try to film at least the light flickering.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can say some stuff and get it to flicker.
Ooh, all three just went off. That was different.
What are you talking about?
That was the first time I saw the lights flicker on 3 different posts.
You did?
It went ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The bulb that's been out just went on, and then the second one flickered, and then the third one went. Foom, and went
Okay.
Yeah, we'll record that for you guys.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to get that. Yeah, so I guess that's going to be it. Except one thing:
Oh, what is it, Aaron?
if we get 50,000 likes on this podcast on YouTube, then we will be coming back here to the iconic spot.
Oh, down there?
Down there,
And doing the ghost investigation?
and do maybe an investigation, but another podcast again. Honestly,
Guys, if we get 50,000 likes, then we'll come back.
mm-hmm.
I don't really want to, but I kind of want to, just because of the spirit box. I don't really want to go down there, but I'm curious what the spirit box would pick up.
Yeah, and Elton's been whispering this whole time, so I have no clue what he's saying.
Jesus Christ is an amazing person.
Uh huh.
guarantee he will poop his pants if we come back.
Okay, so Elton's possessed.
Elton.
Okay, anyways, guys, we are going to end it now. So catch us next week.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week. Ready, Elton? You got to make a fart noise with us.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.